Chapter 62. A Mother's Sorrow, an Unrelenting Evil. With the swarm expected to arrive at any time, the castle seemed to be even a little busier than it had been in the days leading up to that one, if only because there was a lot more running to and from different areas of the castle, every pony having a place to be and a job to do. Celestia and Luna were no different in that regard. The two Alicorn princesses had spent the entire morning organizing some affair or another. Even with the castle and Canterlot itself all but locked down, there was still the rest of Equestria needing their input. Rushing the EUP back to organization after the recent changeling attacks was certainly taxing, and Celestia had half a mind to banish whoever invented paperwork to the moon.
Honestly, how hard is it to know to go from A to B?
Celestia muttered to herself in irritation, walking down the corridor with Raven at her side, a pile of papers shuffling within her magical grasp.
Raven, please take these to Captain Broadsword and ensure their contents reach the right pony.
Raven gave a nod, taking the papers in her own magic as she bounded off down the hallway. Celestia gave a sigh as she watched her assistant go before turning in the corridor and heading back down in the opposite direction. Her route took her directly back to the throne room, where she passed by the guard at the door and approached her throne. She promptly slumped down into her velvety seat, huffing to herself indignantly. She wasn't there long before the doors opened again, and in came the matron of the stars herself.
Sister?
Luna greeted.
I thought that was your heavy, frustrated hoof steps I heard stomping towards the throne room.
Celestia sighed.
I'm sorry, Luna. It's been a stressful morning. Something on your mind, or just the usual? Just something I saw,
Celestia responded.
I've been thinking about it since yesterday, but I'm no closer to figuring it out. The masses of duties never help. Something you saw?
Luna asked inquiringly.
What do you mean, Tia?
Celestia shook her head.
It doesn't matter. I'm more interested in the progress on this spell of yours. If you mean my attempts to access the hive mind from within the dream realm, I have had little luck, I'm afraid,
Luna admitted regretfully.
Attempts to bypass the Empress's block on the changeling streams have been for naught. Maybe in time, but time is something we do not have.
Celestia finished for her sister.
What about a direct connection? A lack of prisoners makes testing such a thing rather difficult, wouldn't you say?
Luna pointed out.
I'm sorry I haven't better news, but I intend to keep trying nevertheless.
Celestia sighed.
Don't apologize, Luna. You're trying. We all are. If it were easy, I'd be wondering why the Empress would have left such an obvious design flaw. Indeed. Say what you will about the tyrant, she is not a complete fool,
the Princess of the Night noted.
She eliminated the elements of harmony as a threat at the very beginning,
Celestia added.
No, not a fool.
Celestia frowned, a thought suddenly entering her mind. The princess couldn't help but bite her lip, looking down at her sister quizzically.
Luna, I understand you cannot enter their dreams, but you can sense their presence, right? Muffled, distant, barely an echo among the vast sea of dreams,
Luna replied.
If I try to get closer, they only seem to retreat further into the darkness. No matter how hard I try, this is always the case. And you're sure that's not just because of distance?
Luna gave her sister a deadpan glare.
I know my own dream realm, sister. The changelings I felt are in Equestria. They are completely within range of it. Of course, I didn't mean to say otherwise,
Celestia apologized.
Just... was Twilight among those changelings? They all were,
Luna replied.
As you might expect, given the reason we're barricading ourselves in like this. How was she?
Celestia asked.
Could you tell? Even with the block?
Luna looked up at Celestia for a moment, but then shook her head.
No. Nothing beyond her presence. Not for any of them. The Empress truly does not want my interference. I see.
Luna didn't say anything. Rather, she walked up to the throne and gave her elder sister a small nuzzle. Luna looked towards Luna, giving her a smile.
Thank you, Luna. Of course,
Luna replied.
I know you feel the burden of a mother's sorrow, but with an unrelenting evil so close to us, we must persevere.
Celestia nodded, raising to her hooves.
I know. I really just needed a small breather. Understandable. We all need to do so every now and then.
Celestia chuckled.
Was that a hint?
Luna gave a faux yawn.
Well, I could always do with an extra hour of sleep. Because the Guardian of Dreams doesn't get enough.
Celestia jabbed.
I'll have you know I get no relaxation within my realm,
Luna protested.
It is very tiring. Yes, sleep is so very tiring indeed.
Celestia maintained her sarcasm, a teasing grin on her face. Luna just glared at her.
Oh, Lulu, you are too easy,
Celestia said with a slight titter.
But enough of that. Let us...
Celestia stopped mid-sentence, staring at a spot just to Luna's right. It was there that, like a specter, a familiar changeling queen stared off into empty space.
Twilight?
Luna looked over her shoulder, and then back to her sister with concern written on her face.
Celestia? What are you talking about?
The throne room doors burst open, a guard running in with a rather panicked facial expression.
Guard? What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Luna asked sternly. Your Highness, I'm sorry, but changelings have been spotted. The sisters shared a glance, Celestia giving the guard a questioning look.
Changelings? How many?
There was a large boom signifying an impact somewhere high above Canterlot Castle. The occupants of the throne room looked all about to find the source, just in time to see the shield outside the window ripple violently. And just beyond the shield, countless distant changelings had their horn charged with bright green magic. All of them. There was another crash as the shield sent another wave of energy across its surface. The outside surface of the barrier was being riddled with monobolts cast by the changeling swarm, occasionally joined in by the larger beams of magic produced by the changeling queens. It was almost the entirety of Immortalis' enslaved swarm. The changelings, as a people, all trying to knock down the door into Canterlot. And they weren't exactly subtle about it, as all of the city's ponies had immediately discovered. And this was indicated by the screaming. Lock down! Lock down! Captain Vladimir shouted, flying above several of his lunar guard just outside of the castle gates. Evacuate the civilian populace to designated safe zones. I don't want a single fool wandering about the streets when they break through. Move it! The Thestral scampered off, leaving just Vladimir. The captain of the Lunar Guard floated back down to the ground, and was just in time to have an alicorn-sized purple dragon almost barrel into him. Whoa! Vladimir remarked as he jumped out of the way. Spike, where are you going?
We're going into the castle, see where the princesses want us.
Ramadash answered for Spike, the other element bears galloping up a short distance away.
No way we're skipping the fight now.
Not when the fights come to you, I guess, Vladimir conceded. Where is Princess Celestia? Spike asked, glancing up cautiously at the changeling swarm. That shield won't hold forever. I'm fully aware of that, thank you, Vladimir replied. As for the princess, throne room, probably. Or the war room, one of those two. War room, Captain Broadsword interjected, cantering up to the group. I passed by Cardus on the way here. He was also heading in that direction. Apparently, he figured something out that might help us. Broadsword was joined by his wife and son, the latter quaking in fear under his mother's legs.
Be brave like a daddy,
Valiant was muttering to himself, trying to muster some bravery from his overly young soul.
Super brave guard. Be like Dad.
Broadsword sighed, looking his wife in the eyes. Scarlet, you need to take Valiant and get deep into the castle. You know where to go. She nodded, yet she didn't leave right away.
Just be careful, please. Things are going to get dicey out here.
Broadsword nuzzled her affectionately, giving her a sincere smile. I have reason to come back, don't I? Now get moving. Scarlet gave him a quick kiss before leading Valiant off into the castle. Oh, and take this, Broadsword added, throwing his sword over to Scarlet, who caught it in her deep red aura. I think you remember how to use it. Scarlet couldn't help but smirk.
Better than you.
And then she retreated inside, leading her son along with the sword held closely by her side. They'll be fine, Vladimir assured his friend and counterpart. So, the war room? Of course, we need to head there right away.
Suppose you don't mind if we tag along, do ya?
Applejack asked, though in such a way that suggested he had no choice in the matter. You were asked for, so you are coming, Broadsword replied. You're needed for this idea of Cardus's.
Uh-oh,
Pinkie Pie remarked, having just finished a random set of spasms.
Does that mean we're gonna win or that we're all gonna die? Please be the first one.
Fluttershy muttered hopefully.
Depends on what the bug cooks up,
Rainbow Dash commented with a shrug.
Well, I do think we should hurry along, darling,
Rarity suggested, just as another crash echoed off the mountain.
I'm sorry to say I don't think these ruffians are the patient kind.
Rarity's right. We need to move, Spike concurred. Now! He received no argument, and the group quickly bolted into the castle, heading in the direction of the war room. And as they went, the strikes against the shield continued on. They showed no signs of slowing, and would not stop until the end would come. So that's the plan, Spike said incredulously, staring at the alicorns as if they had gone insane. Do I even need to lay out all the ways this could possibly go wrong? The three alicorns, Spike, the element bearers, the two captains, and the changelings were all gathered in the war room. The image of the besieged city was being displayed on the table, countless black dots representing the attacking force.
No worse than what will happen should we do nothing, Luna retorted. I believe this could work. Cardus's theory was sound, and I can ensure it happens.
But must we include them? Vladimir asked, glancing towards Panacea and Juvenis. I would rather not, Cardus stated.
We're not leaving you,
Panacea said with determination.
If this fails, we're done either way. Yeah, we're not going anywhere,
Juvenis concurred.
I'm not a kid anymore, Dad. I know what this entails. And I need to be here just in case at all.
Cardus sighed. I know. It doesn't mean I have to like it. So that's them and the element bearers, Captain Broadsword noted. And the rest of us?
I'd say that's obvious,
Rainbow Dash commented.
Somebody has to keep these guys off our backs while we save the world again.
To put it bluntly, Rainbow, Applejack scolded the Pegasus.
She's not wrong, however,
Celestia stated.
Captain Broadsword, Captain Vladimir Vespertilio, Facade, Shining Armor, and Spike will all assist in the defense of the castle when the breach occurs.
That won't be a problem, Facade confirmed. We can give you the time you need. If this doesn't work, though, well... We won't be able to hold that many. We're quite outnumbered, Broadsword finished. How long do you think this will take? Facade then inquired. Given the fact that no one has ever tried this before, Cardus replied. Right. However long it takes. I still don't like this, Spike dryly remarked. But if it helps save Twilight,
We can only hope,
Princess Celestia stated.
And that just leaves our parts.
Princess Cadence gave a flinch, her horn flashing cyan for a moment as another crack was heard across the city. Are you all right, honey? Shining Armor asked with worry.
I'm fine,
Cadence assured him.
After I've weakened the specific section of the shield and they've been lured in, I'll plug the hole and then get to a safe spot. They'll target me otherwise, get the shield down even quicker.
I just hope that the right changeling goes through the gap, Vladimir noted.
Knowing how the Empress wants to use Twilight against us, she will be the first to go in,
Celestia said with a hint of hate towards Immortalis.
It will work. While I see to the spell, Celestia will guard over us, Luna then explained. Needless to say, making the connection will be delicate. We'll be fine, Princess,
Fluttershy kindly assured the Princess of the Night.
We're Twilight's friends. We'll take the risk. Yeah, we're all about the big risks,
Pinkie Pie agreed.
I mean, who else runs into the most dangerous force in Equestria going after some big meanie pants?
Luna coughed behind a hoof.
Not that you're one now. You're way cooler now.
I'll take your word for it, Laughter, Luna deadpanned.
Right.
You are all aware of the roles you must now play?
I think we all know, Your Majesty,
Verdi replied to the question.
Where do you need us for the process?
The spell shall be cast here, Luna stated. The rest of you will move to defend the castle. After the spell has been cast, you shall be moved wherever necessary. We're ready, Princess, Captain Broadsword announced.
Very well. My ponies and changelings,
Celestia said.
It is now that Equestria calls upon you all. Do as you must.
There was a round of affirmatives, and then those who would defend the structure against the invaders quickly moved out of the war room. Shining Armor said some parting words to his wife, sharing a warm embrace before too leaving after his brothers in arms. That left the element bearers, Cardus and his family, and the princesses behind. Do you really think they can pull this off? Facade asked as they moved. I mean, can a pony even? Where magic is involved, who knows what is and isn't possible? Spike mused. At least if it works, Twilight has her next research project decided. True. But if I get taken into their hive before then, don't hesitate in doing what you need to do. Facade asked of them. Not that I plan on assimilation, but just in case. We won't let that happen, Facade, Vladimir said to his changeling ally, flexing his meta wing. Keep your wits. You'll be fine. Whatever the case, we know what we need to do, Prince Shining Armor stated, drawing his blade and examining it. And we will stand firm. 3 well-trained and experienced ponies, a changeling and a dragon, made a formidable force indeed. But it was inside the war room that things were truly coming together. For inside that war room, Princess Luna's horn was alight, and she had her eyes closed in concentration as the 5 element bearers drifted off into a deep sleep. And the swarm above continued to give the shield everything they had, slowly but steadily breaking their way into Equestria's capital.